What is up, fishing addicts? On today's video we will be fishing with the flashy Swimjig, and this is the time of the year where bass cool up and start attacking shad. They start feeding very vigorously, and it's a great way to target smallmouth on a river, especially on those current breaks where bass push the shad, or where shad are usually hanging out. And make sure you guys stay till the end. I'll have more tips and tricks, so let's go get our fix on. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, it's a slap. Oh, that's a slap. That is a slap. That is a slap. Look at that. Beautiful smallmouth on the flashy jig. Where's the flashy? There we go. On the flashy. There we go. Oh, it's a slap. Oh, that's a slap. That is a slap. That is a slap. Look at that one. Beautiful smallmouth on the flashy jig. Where's the flash? There we go. On the flashy swim jig. Beautiful. Make a little video. Alright guys, early morning, winter fishing. Nice, beautiful smallmouth there stacking up for winter feed. Go get them. Alright, so I noticed that the smallmouth was chasing a shad, and I cast it right on it and got this one. And we're about 14 feet of water, and it was right on top. As I said, I'm working a little current seam over here. I think that's the key, slack and current right now. They're dropping the water down, but might catch a couple of them. There we go. Another one. I'm just gonna kayak flip this one. Oh, give it some. Man, they fight hard. Come here, buddy. Come here. There you go. You ain't going nowhere. I'm just gonna kayak flip this one. Oh, give it some. Man, they fight hard. Come here, buddy. Come here. There you go. You ain't going nowhere with that gummy hook, buddy. Look at that. Oh, this one was a tapwood. Look at that. It has a big gash, and the back is turned. I don't know. Pretty nice fish. Right by the where the drop is. So I casted it and I let it sink down, and I slow roll it, let the blade do its thing. And when it's cold weather like this, I like to give them a little bit of scent. I believe it does. It creates a scent trail for the fish to follow as well. So careful, huh? Here's a tiger. Alright guys. Again. Alright guys. Again. On the flashy jig. Took a little bit of beating, but look at that. The gold blade, a little bit darker water. It's a little pipsqueak, but he has nice shoulders on it. It was fighting real hard, so gave me a heart attack on this one. All right. Let me catch one more, and we'll talk about the cold water flashy swim jig patterns and tactics. Alright, Alex, so it had a rough day in the water. I haven't been fishing for a minute, as you guys can see. This video was made about 3 weeks ago. So I developed about almost 2 months ago. I developed vertigo, and it's been kicking my ass. Can't shake it off. Out of nowhere, I just get dizzy and whatever. And when I was on the water, a wave hit my boy. It wasn't even a big wave, and then I start puking my guts out. So I had to get off from the water ASAP. But a few people were asking about a flashy jig, and that's what I call it. I'm not sure where I saw it, or can't remember what I saw it. I started making my own. The idea came up to me when I was fishing in crystal clear water where I can see almost 30 feet down, and I can see the bass on the grass lines going in and out, and chasing bluegills. I casted a chatterbait, and I saw them spooking most of the fish, and I tried the spinnerbait, and it was working fine until it goes into the grass and stuff. I had a little bit of trouble with the blades and whatnot, and I had a weedless jig. I made one up. I needed that flash to pull the fish out from the grass, but sometimes I want to tap the grass, so I put it on a weedless jig, and that's when I called it the flashy jig. This is basically what it is. It's just a swim jig. For this case, I was using a without the weed guard, and I like using Indiana blade on the back. This one's a Colorado, but I usually like the little willow blade, especially this time of year. Indiana or willow blade, they give up very little vibration, but they do give up a lot of flash, and it was a key feature, because the chatterbait creates a lot of noise, right? A lot of disperses water. Same thing with with spinner bait, it creates a lot of flash and there's a little bit of vibration. But with this type, you create just amount of vibration, very little vibration, and just amount of flash to get that fish going. So what I was targeting was most of the time was just fast water meets slack water, or slack water areas where I would see bow shad on my 2D sonar. I don't have live scope or anything like that. I'm not against it. I'm not for it. I just can't afford it, and I haven't. I think it's just unnecessary for my fishing. What I do, even though I do tournaments or whatever, the cost does not. I can't justify the cost for me right now, but that's a whole nother topic. So what I went with my 2D sonar, I saw the bow fish, and at one point of the video, I heard the bass chasing shad. Well, I was in 18, 19 feet of water, and they were pushing the shad up. And even though the water temperature was almost 49, 52 degrees, it fluctuated depending on the area I was. And they were pushing shad to the shore and top, and they were munching on it. And as soon as I heard it, I casted my jig, and I was slowly retrieving it, and boom, smoked it. And I had a couple of instances like that. I would see them chasing push shad on the corner of the bluff wall where the current was creating a slack water or swirl, whatever you call it, and I would just cast it, and I'll pull up fish after fish, and it was a pretty good day. So on cold water, late fall before winter, the water is clear, so I like to use shad patterns. Pretty much a lot of flash, a lot of glitter on this jig, and I don't know if the camera's gonna catch it. I need to fix the lighting over here, but this one has a lot of flash, and it just calls up fish from way deeper water. Sometimes I'm fishing 14 to 18 feet of water, and I'll cast it, and my jig is on 7 feet of water, and a fish come up from the bottom. And the reason I know fish come up from the bottom is because I went through that area with my 2D and side imaging, and I see the fish are on the bottom. And I have a friend that was with me. This was a month and a half ago, and he was scoping to see what I was fishing at, and basically fish were on the bottom. We couldn't see anything on the scope, and I casted my A-rig, and I was retrieving it, and you see a big blob on his screen, and he was telling me, he's like, hey, this is your A-rig coming up, and then you see like 3-4 fish come out of nowhere from the bottom. So when the temperatures are low, the fish are sitting on the bottom if they're not feeding. So there is feeding windows that you guys can focus on. Sometimes it's early in the morning, depending on what time of the year you're fishing. But the more you're closer to the more you're closer to the colder months, middle of the winter, the feeding window starts moving from early morning more towards the noon, and at dead of winter, it's right before sundown. This is when the water is the hottest, warmest, and you can find the fish on the rocks or clay bottom, where the areas that I fish, they have this dark muck, and fish, for some reason, they go right on top of it. It's about 6 to 7 feet of water. It's clear water, and you can see the fish on it, that their bellies are touching the muck. And the reason they go on that dark spot is because it retains more sunlight and it's warmer. They warm up their bodies, and they go feed, and they'll come back over there and they just chill. So back to the point. I know we drifted a little bit from it, but I was focusing on rocky bottoms where I see shad or shad busting. I'll cast and I'll slow retrieve. Um, if I was fishing on deeper water, I'll cast uh, 20 feet, 15 feet from the shad bow. I'll wait for my bait to go down and I'll start retrieving slowly. The bait rises a little bit depending on. I was using a 3/8 where I should have been using half, but with half ounce, um, it's just too much of casting it, and I get fatigue a lot, and I get tennis elbow and stuff. So 3/8 is a key for me. So I wait a little bit longer for it to fall down. As soon as it falls down, I feel like I'm in the right depth. I just count till 8 seconds for it to fall down, and I start retrieving slowly. And sometimes what I will do is I'll grab the rod and just pop it a couple of times, and I'll just let it sink again. So when it's sinking, the blade is going all crazy and flashing and catching that sunlight. And then I'll retrieve it again, and I'll pop it, and sometimes I'll raise it, and then let it go and let it fall. Usually I'll get them on the fall. It just intrigues the fish on a feeding mode, especially with all the shad going around. It sets it apart, creates the extra vibration or something what's happening in the water. But this time of the year, I like to focus on natural colors because the river I'm fishing, usually it's very muddy, and you get about maybe foot and a half visibility. Right now it's about 6 to 7 feet visibility depending on the sunlight. So algae die out in the colder months, so you get the fish have more visibility. This is why I switched down to a bait that has a lot of flash, a lot of glitter, a lot of just eye-catching stuff on it. And I use a yellow blade, gold blade, because gold blade, even the water is clear, it's not crystal clear, so it does create a bigger flash. It's not bright, but it's just bigger. I don't know how to explain it, but you can see it from farther away, even though it's not as like big bulb shining. But I hope this video helps you guys out, tips and stuff, and hopefully I have a doctor's appointment in a couple of days, get that situated, fixed, and I can get back on the water. And I know some of you might be like, hey, it's winter, it's almost ice fishing. No, I fish until the rivers freeze. So there's always, you can catch fish on the rivers, no matter, even if you have 2 feet of snow and ice and all that stuff. And I'll put up some videos and tips on all that stuff, how I do it. I know somebody messaged me that they want to fish until they can see their breath. I have done that, and I have tips, and I've been doing it for a very long time. I just haven't done it for the past 2 years, but hopefully once this thing is situated, I can go back to it, and hopefully I can start bringing my son, because he is very interested in ice fishing and all that stuff. So that's it, guys. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, crush that like button. I'll catch you guys on the next one.